Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today we're doing a flerd move. The cattle are at the very back, or the bulls. The sheep are coming toward me, and they're going into a silvopasture area here that's taller than they are. When they walk in there, you have a lot of lambs bowing because they can't see their mothers. We got 6 guard dogs in here, and we moved them in here yesterday. This is a long, narrow strip. We started at the pond, which is way down this valley, and we just put up a single wire, and we're strip grazing them back toward the road. So they're really going after these seed heads. I mean, look at that wire. That's one wire, and look at those sheep. They're not crossing it. They're just not crossing it at all. Boy, there is some food in here. I mean, good food. Pretty much all the sheep are shed off by now, and there's a few that aren't. Some people call for that. We typically don't. If they don't have a lamb, we get rid of them. So, hey, honey, this little female right here, she's real close to whelping. We noticed she was found a hole over here in this log pile, and she was checking out the logs a while ago. So I think she's going to whelp inside that log pile. Really a nice little den over there. So we're going to be having some puppies probably within the next, I would say, 7 to 10 days. We're going to be on this farm a while because we have this. This is unbelievable. Look at that. That's about 35 days rest, and it's 4 feet tall out there. So the sheep really go after the seed heads. It seems like the Kentucky 31 fescue doesn't seem to affect them at all, even though it's got toxin in it. It just doesn't bother them. And you can tell these sheep aren't hungry. They're following me, and they're in grass taller than they are. But they like it in here because there's shade. Okay, first of all, there's shade. There's all kinds of food, and we've never seeded anything in here. And they have their protector. There's Big Boy, and I've got a tick coming up my side. You're gonna have to excuse me, man. I got to get this tick off. There, I got him. Darn things. Big Boy, how you doing, fella? And there's a little Big Boy over there. It's a pup. He's in training. But it's comfortable in these trees. Silvopasture. This was timber that we cleared in 2017. And before we cleared it, well, there's a stump right there. You couldn't crawl through here. You had to get down on all 4 hands and knees. I remember Jacob and I coming in, and he started on one end, and I started on the other. And we started cutting trees. And we left the nicer trees, some of the nicer black oaks. There wasn't any white oaks in here. This is all black oaks. And there's a few hickories, quite a few walnut. Oh, here's a walnut behind us. Black cherry. Of course, there's a cedar. I like to leave diversity in here. I don't want just one single species of trees. And so when Jacob and I came in here, we didn't paint the stumps because I knew we were going to be bringing sheep in here. And so we just cut. And so the stumps did sprout. And if you've got a critter in here that can eat sprouts, maybe you don't want to paint them when you cut them so you get a lot of good feed. Look at that. I mean, those lambs are in heaven in here. I mean, they're just in heaven. There's a whole... Well, here comes the bulls. They're like, the sheep aren't going to get it all. The bulls are going to get some too. Got to go check out these bulls. They're so darn fat they can hardly walk. So we'll be turning these bulls into our cow herd let's see, July 1st. Hey, honey, how you doing? You are a friendly little girl. I'm glad they're friendly because, you know, when you want to sell one, you got to be able to catch them. Look at that. That bull's so darn fat he can hardly walk. Boy, he's healthy looking. I mean, look at the weight that bull's put on. Folks, that's grass. That's pure grass. My gosh. That one looks like he's pregnant. Look at them, they're oily. Look at the oily surface. There's not a whole lot of flies on those bulls. There's a few up on their necks. You're going to have more flies on your bulls than you are your cows. Because bulls have testosterone. And testosterone draws flies. So if you got testosterone, high testosterone bulls, you're going to have some flies on them. You've got a bull that does 0 flies on it, you might want to be concerned. Look at how fat that bull is. That's grass. That's all grass. This is how you make money in the cattle business. Folks, you got to have bulls that'll give you cows that look like that. Okay? You got to have big gut. And if you look at the legs on these bulls, I mean, you can't read a newspaper under that bull's belly. If you can open up a newspaper and read underneath him, he's got too much leg. Way too much leg. Your bull needs to have some gut capacity. If he doesn't have gut, he can't pass it on to the females. You want your cows to have a gut just like that bull does. We always kid each other, he's got a calf in him. Of course he doesn't, but he looks like it. You want a nice rump on your bulls? And you like to have a set of testicles that look like that. Okay, they need to be balanced. You don't want a bunch of hair all over them. And you don't want teats on the testicles of your bulls. And it helps to have slick-haired animals like those. Look at that guy shining. Folks, you got to put your hand on him. I can see oil on his hair. Oily surfaces on the animals is one method of fly control. So when the flies land on those bulls, their feet get stuck. They don't like that. There's our new 720. He's going to replace 720. We've already sold him. Yeah, 87's giving him a run for his money. That's right. I mean, they're both just phenomenal. 890's not too far behind. So we're going to use these bulls, and we'll be selling a few of them in the fall. We'll probably end up keeping 2 or 3 of them for next year. The rest of them will be sold. But anyway, they're in with the sheep, and the dogs don't pay them any attention anymore. The sheep don't pay any attention to them. And it's just kind of what we call a flerd. Folks, guys, how long did it take y'all to move the flerd a while ago when you rolled up that wire?
5 minutes.
5 minutes?
I'd say less, but yeah.
So what'd y'all do to move these sheep?
Rolled up a wire, walked behind them, and walked them into the next paddock.
How many posts did you pull out?
10, 12.
15.
Yeah. So we moved, 200 and some head of sheep over there and 7 bulls in about, what, 5 minutes?
Yep. Sheep are too much work.
You say that sarcastically, Isaac.
Yep.
What is amazing is that wire right there, we moved, something had got into it down the driveway here, but still, they pulled it off of 3 posts, and yet every animal was still in.
Yep.
Ben and I set a meter on that a while ago, and it had 3,500 volts on it. And we checked the source across the creek a while ago, and it was 6,500. Well, when you run a poly braid in that much vegetation, you're going to have some load on there. It's going to pull some of it off. Okay, that's just the way it is. But yeah, it's unbelievable, the forage in here. Again, that was all woods 3 years ago. And today it's just this beautiful canopy.
They got shade to eat in.
They got shade to eat in. When they get done feeding, they can lay down here. And when they get done, they can run back, not run, walk back to their water source and get them a drink, which is pretty darn cool. So we let animals do the work for us. We're kind of the orchestra director, and those are our willing participants. They like to eat, and we like to see them eat, and we like to move them. So with that, I'm going to sign off, and we'll see you all down the road. Hit that like button on the way out. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. We'll see y'all another time.